inspiration for this video was that I casted my mind to the many art pieces and art galleries that I've visited over the years. I've seen many pieces that are considered legendary, timeless, priceless art pieces that many generations have and will ponder for many generations to come. Considering the many special pieces littered all over the Vatican, the many special sculptures spanning from many different time periods in the Dubai Louvre, and of course the many paintings and possibly the most famous painting of all time, the Mona Lisa in the Paris Louvre, which I've also visited. These pieces have been analyzed and will continue to be analyzed. But times have changed and the focus of my generation has shifted to an art form completely different, one that's able to carry a huge amount of depth. I'm talking about animation. But not just that, everything that comes along with the beauty of animated media. And note, I'm definitely including gaming in this conversation. Animated media has such a powerful effect on people that it's absolutely unbelievable. Now, I'm sure we've all heard about the untimely passing of the creator of Dragon Ball Z, Akiratoriyama, a man we know and love purely because of his beautiful work. Dragon Ball Z not only shaped mine, but millions of childhoods. Without that show, I'm not sure this YouTube channel would even exist. As a young boy and child, I fell into the deepest trenches of escapism, whether it was the beautiful thing that is anime, or gaming, or even my very own imagination. Over the years, I've gained a greater appreciation for this space, to the point that I've even created this very YouTube channel. And I definitely hope that one day I'll be able to create some sort of animated show or video game of my own creation. But let's get back to the premise of this video. Why does animation give art meaning? What do I mean by this? Here are two images. One's an absolutely gorgeous art piece, illustrating a fictional battle between two factions who aim to win. It's a beautiful piece and you can clearly see the huge amount of effort taken to create this piece. And using one's own interpretation, you can try and decipher what this picture is trying to convey. Here is another image of characters I'm sure most of you know at a place that has become an iconic part of the anime community, the Final Valley. The first image is undoubtedly better, more time spent. Perhaps an even more skilled artist was responsible for its creation. But despite those facts, the second image is much more impactful if you're familiar with the tale. Why? There are two main factors: storytelling and time. A good story is able to make even the most insignificant of images have strong meaning. Look at this object, for instance. If you recognize this image, you'll completely understand what I meant by my previous point. If you don't, I have a very great recommendation for you. Please take time out of your day and go and read Berserk. It's a must. Now, no matter how well an artist is able to draw the object of the behelit, without substantial storytelling and context, this picture is absolutely meaningless to you or anyone for the fact. But put a beautiful picture of a behelit in an art gallery. I may ponder for a moment or two what the artist is trying to convey, but I'll eventually pass on to the next piece. But by adding great storytelling, this object can become the very topic of its very own video. And I can actually make a video on the behelits entirely, but that's a video for another day. Something that could be generally considered meaningless can become something that can stoke immense emotion from somebody who's watched or read Berserk. Your mind can go to the iconic eclipse, the first time we meet Griffith in the Black Swordsman arc, or even his rebirth in the Conviction arc. Your mind can easily wander to many different places. But then this takes me to my second point, time, which is possibly the most important factor to why animated media can give so much depth to these essentially meaningless moving pictures. The reason the fight at the Final Valley in Naruto is so important and iconic is because of the amount of years we spent with these images. Gaming and anime are things that stay close to my heart and are able to motivate, sadden, invigorate my emotions on a regular basis. We can even talk about something as popular and as recent as JJK. Go to TikTok, go to the social media platform of choice, and you'll find a huge amount of edits of Gojo Satoru, edits on Yuji Itadori talking about his hands, so much has been analyzed and talked about because of this beautiful art form and the beauty of these characters and the stories and this art that's been created by a game that I'd say perfectly finds the balance between storytelling and time, but also adds a beautiful and vital element of interaction. That game is God of War. Now, I've always personally had an interest in these games. Even though I wasn't a fan of the grotesque and brutal violence, I always had an interest in the plight of the Greek gods and how they interacted even with this fictional character who was added to the mix, Kratos. Now, those factors may have pushed me away from the game. When I finally saw the trailer back in 2016, I knew this title was going to be much more than a visual spectacle with a godly coat of paint. God of War 2018 was able to find the perfect balance of great combat, great puzzle systems, while telling the greatest story I've ever experienced in my gaming life, while also providing the best visuals this gaming space has to offer. Any one of the beautiful cutscenes, scenery, and vistas could be snapshotted and put into the Louvre this very afternoon. The connection goes even deeper as you're no longer just a viewer, but also a participant. This is why gaming will continue to have the entertainment world by a chokehold. I want you to cast your mind to this moment over here. We've reached the end of this long journey, and this is one of the most beautiful moments in the entire game. Why is it so special? While someone who doesn't know the context can still appreciate this image, if you know this character's past and the events of the game, you'll come to understand how impactful this moment is. I was almost moved to tears. Kratos has finally forgiven himself. After all those years, he's finally chosen to keep moving forward, no longer ashamed or shackled by the sins of his past. He removes the heavy burdens of guilt that has prevented him from truly bonding with his son, but is now willing to reveal more of himself and accept his frailties head on while becoming a better man. All of the things that I've said to describe this piece of art could not be conveyed by an art piece found in any gallery. No matter how beautifully painted, no matter how deeply analyzed. A few months ago, I also made the decision that I also wanted to be a true creative. The basis of this channel is to talk and appreciate the great creations of many other artists and creatives, but I realized that I also wanted to add something to the pie. I didn't want my legacy to only be commenting and talking about the beautiful creations of others, but I wanted to create something of my own to be topic of conversation. Thank you all for watching me once again. My name is Explicit Sage, and I'm out.